Ah, well, poor Bandits. Look, I think I'm excited. I like Bank. Bank is my favorite map at the moment in the competitive pool.
I mean, I was pretty devo when Villa got taken out, but in the absence of Villa, I'll take a Bank any day.
Bank. Bank's chilling, you know? It's good fun. Kelton's Knights had a good match on it, so it should be a fun one to watch.
Also, I love casting Kelton's Knights because we just get to go with Pounce and Pat, Wobbling Worthy, Jumping Josh, Climbing Campo, and Vaulting Vinny.
Oh man, I couldn't believe that Triple R tried to one-up win with the Vegetable Gang. That's pretty funny. That's not bad from them.
Triple R did get the last laugh as
they
won.
They actually won in regulation as well, so that is certainly not a bad result. Anyway, as we are talking a load of rubbish, the ban phase is going past us. So Hibana Dokkaebi being taken out. Yeah, fair enough. I think Hibana is going to make some of those hatches a little more tricky to open, and also losing out on your ranged hard breach does mean that sites like the top floor, you can't get your Hibana pellets on them to clear out your janitor, clear out your stock hallways, yeah, Kanto, that kind of thing. So ranged hard breach, quite important on this map. It means that Ace is now mission critical to a lot of the types of attacks that you're doing, and so are the squares. Meanwhile, on the side of the defense, it's about banning out the greater evil, and I think Solace is quite a great evil on Bank. It's a very big map, and so having the Solace on the board is quite important because you can see what the attack's doing, where they're going, what they're thinking about.
True. One thing with the Solace ban, though, is having it off the cards does make making pre-placed drones and getting quick map control so effective.
Yep.
And Bank, there are a million insanely good drone spots. There's a million places where you can quick enter and get super fast map control. So I think it's going to be an exciting time for the attack. I'm a big pre-placed drone enthusiast personally.
Very good, very good.
And so banning out that Solace opens up a whole new avenue for your attacking side. Great in the early round, then you get to the late round and you're going up against a Mirror. You're getting spotted by the Valkyrie. You've got Azami, Warden, Goyo to deal with. My god, there's an insane number of powerful anchor operators on Bank Basement.
Yeah, and that is the problem that we are seeing immediately being brought out by Bandits. They are going to challenge Kelton's Knights on this, of course, by bringing out that infamous Goyo, as you're speaking of, Smoke as well, and the C4 on Razor. That's 3 sets of plant and all that Kelton's Knights have got to deal with. Not just that, but even as they go for this roam clear, they are going to be faced by the ever-elusive Drift, who's on Vigil. Now, Vigil has gone a little bit out of fashion in these days. There are lots of important defenders to be bringing along, so Vigil's not really one that you would see played often, but Bank is a good operator. Bank is a good map to bring this operator on.
Permission to overthink, Mandy?
Okay, permission to overthink granted.
Okay, Solace is banned, but you can use Vigil as a poor player's Solace, because every time you use your gadget, you will get points if there is a drone nearby. And so you can press tab and check if you've got any extra points.
Oh, that's so overthinking.
People do that.
No
I am not joking.
Man.
People do that. Eraser also goes for C4s and finds early kills. Climbing Campo's gone down. Meanwhile, Drift is playing Boss G, by the way.
Wow, that's something I haven't seen in a while.
It was Bravard. I know, so why is he shooting his own cameras?
Oh, yes, of course, because Vin that's doing the lobby pressure. Oh dear, Drift, you've done a bit of a silly. There is someone in the top floor and is going to cut you off from main stairs. So, unfortunately, he's not going to be safe on his full wrap. But hang on, MML has got to find someone's backpack that's worthy on the top of blue, not quite realizing that the rest of the map wasn't clear.
How'd he wobble his way over there? I'd love to know. Well, Josh will jump right onto the case and look for a flank. Where is that defender? Looks like MML has gone back down the blue stairs as Pat has pounced his way into server. He's found the first one. Jacko's down. MML, though, is able to secure this blue stairs control by taking out Josh above him.
Oh, dear.
This is, a very deary position now as Kelton's Knights have server control, but their 2 players are separated by MML, who is now taken down.
There we go. Pounce and Pat for a 2-piece of his own entering in through server. 2-on-2 situation, not losable for either team. I think it's very situational in this moment. Do they have a read on the flank that is going on through the top floor? They don't. It doesn't matter anyway because he's come all the way back down. So Pat is going to try and work the walls here. There's a lot of stuff that they have to burn if they want to go for a plant. But in a 2-on-2, I actually don't know what the wisest decision is here.
That's true. The Vulcan canisters will set the site afire. But there's still time to work with here, and I don't see many new Goyo canisters that could be detonated. Pat has snuck his drone all the way into the back of site.
Yes, the problem here is there's still 3 smoke babes, right? Only 40 seconds left to go. So even if they try and attempt the plant here, there's no way they're going to actually be able to burn out everything. I think Vin, as a result, is going to rotate into this top floor, going to try and make some work through the hatch. They've got to go kind of like for at least 1 pick here, I'm going to say.
Well, he's going sneaky beaky like. Crouch walking all the way through. Lonely's taking a bunch of damage, but perfect on the angle. Here's a Razor. He's opened up the round, and he might be able to close it. 2 kills for him so far, as Pat is caught in a very unenviable position. The gas continues to lock him out. He will need to go for kills. Lonely's low HP, but he needs to find this first one. Lonely's gone down. A Razor looking for a 3K, while Pat looks for his 4th. There's not enough ammo! What are you doing, Pat? The hipfire headshot. 4 kills on the round, and Kelton's Knights win a round.
Pat is a superhero, man. There's no way he actually lands that right. He goes in through server, entries to find the 2K, and then in the dying seconds of the round, somehow isolates every single 1 versus 1. Like, that is unreal, man. No way.
Pat has some main character energy, I tell you what.
This is the stage. This is his year.
It's Brendo season, get out of here. It's Pat season.
Oh, God. Pouncing Pat is certainly pouncing in the server today.
I can't believe this.
That is actually nuts, man. Sometimes when you don't have faith in that SAS shotgun, it just doesn't do it, you know?
It's true. It's all about the faith. We talked about that with the shotguns. It's some kind of weird voodoo magic, but
it is.
You got to believe. Chef Jeff believes.
Yep.
And it clearly Eraser did not believe.
Yep, exactly. If you don't believe, that's bad juju. That's not good, you know? And that's going to allow Pat to get a 1 versus 2 right at the end. Oh, man. Poor Bandits, they're going to be kicking themselves after that one, but they're actually going to repeat it instead. They're thinking, okay, we didn't do too much wrong in the macro, you know, it came down to a 1 versus 1. They actually did bring it back pretty good, you know. They took down Vin and it forced Pat to make his play, and although it was a very good play, it's still not too bad for Bandits, so they're going to try this again.
Yeah, the stakes here are pretty high for Bandits. They're yet to find a win in the league, and they probably deserve one with how they've been playing. They've taken some really solid fights to a lot of really good teams, including to Circular Spheres in that very first game, Aerial Arise. But since then, it has been pretty disastrous, and they're on a 5-game losing streak now. Could it be 6? We'll see. Defense is a nice place to start, but Bank is also quite an attacker-sided map.
All right, so here we go. This time, they've actually forfeited a little bit more of this top floor, and they're not going to land out that same C4 they did last time to deny the entry into the building. So all of this control has been given up to Kelton's Knights now. Keep in mind, there is still the Valkyrie on the board for Drift. So even though this roam clear has come out, and even though there's not really presence on the top floor, the top 2 floors, the defense is still going to know what's going on because they have all that info. On the other side, though, on the attack, Vin has brought on the IQ to counter that, so they will have to make quick work here in this mid-round to take them all down and plan their execute.
Okay, Pat goes for his 5th kill of the game.
What on earth's going on?
He's really aggressive. This has been quite an aggressive game in general from Bandits as they still hold on to some roam game. Eraser here in open area. Pat's just droned him out. He's spotting a second drone. He's got a C4 pre-placed somewhere.
Interesting. Oh, there you go. Curious one. Oh, and Josh is going to walk in and kill him. That is fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Good stuff. Now, I was a bit worried for Kelton's Knights. In the absence of Hibana, they're relying on the Thermite and the Buck to do the hard breach. So not a lot. You can only get 4 hatches, and if you do that, you can't open the walls. So Worthy's already used 1. Thankfully, there's 1 hatch pre-open, so I think he should be pretty chill here to just open up that second hatch. But what about server? Oh, it's open with a thermite charge, I guess.
Well, I think the thing is, you don't necessarily need both of your thermite charges. If you want to go for the execute, getting open that second server wall that's like just next to the rack is like optional. It's optional, but it's good, you know, something that would be nice to have. But of course, if you do actually want to clear out that server position, having the hatch open is pretty nice. Thankfully, there is no one actually there to contest it, so Pat can just walk straight on in and get that main breach open instead.
Yeah, keep your eye on Pat. He might be the planter, but he's also been the fragger this game so far. He's getting very early. Actually, it's not early. Felt early, but there's 30 seconds left in the round. He starts this plant down. The smoke comes out. It looks like he's surviving despite the Vulcan canisters. The gas is not gone. And Kelton's Knights steal away an early plant. Bandits must retake in a 3 versus 5, and it's certainly not going to be easy. In fact, it will be a tumultuous task indeed. They'll go hunting, and they will confirm the round. Back-to-back attacks on the basement, and Kelton's Knights are looking as good as ever.
Oh man, Lonely has trolled. He does not know the lineup, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, really nice stuff there from Kelton's Knights. You could see Pat shaking his head there. He goes in for the plant. There's a grenade flying at him. The smoke babe sails like right over his head, and he's like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
Ow.
I do know.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful moment when Pat's like, okay, he's probably calling out to the team, I'm gonna start faking the plan. And then he's like halfway through and he's like, I'm not gonna fake this, I'm just gonna stick it.
Do it. Yeah, I
Get
think,
it done.
you know, the big thing is like, get the plant down, the rest of the boys going for the kills, and you're like, you're chilling, right? You're happy with that? I don't know, like honestly, yeah, I wouldn't overthink that round too much. I think Bandits just maybe not as confident on that basement bomb site as they thought that they were. They didn't have the plant denial that well drilled, and against Kelton's Knights, that is something that you need to do pretty good, because Kelton's Knights are one of those teams that when they need to burn out the utility, they're going to do that. They know how to play the bait game, and when they want to go for the flood, you just send Josh in and you kill them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the one.
Kelton's Knights have been a damn good team. I'm just going to say it. I know that they just like, I don't know how they do it. They just know how to play the game really well. I know that just sounds so ludicrous.
Imagine that.
But, yeah, these guys are all retired or semi-retired or whatever you want to call it. Coming out of retirement. You know, the great teams that they have played on in the past disbanded, disappeared, shadows of their former selves. But these guys just know how to play the game. They rock up on game day and they're like, well, is this the state of the league? Sure, we'll take 3 points.
Yeah, and they bring along some pretty classic strats as well. This is a fun one that we haven't seen in a while. The Ossa shields with the ace charges, right? So this is going to be a top square push, I can only anticipate, as they will try and squeeze in that Ossa shield. The one thing they do have to be worried about, of course, is that set of impacts now. Eraser has already burnt one, but there's 3 more to go. So all they have to be careful about here is that when that Ossa shield goes down, it doesn't get destroyed as they go for the plant. That's the only thing. That's the only thing they've got going for them. And if we know Bandits well enough, I'm a bit anxious as to whether they can land these impact grenades. I think that's the thing that I'm the worried about.
Never doubt. I will always believe. Jacko's in a real power position, though, playing in this stock hallway. He's got quite a bit of util to support him.
Yeah, but they're going to dislodge him, right? Pat's put the first Ossa shield just outside of stock, and that's going to allow Josh to rotate over, play behind the shield, and get the Selma on in complete safety. Right?
There comes the Selma. Good read. And Jacko's scared. He's just going to fall all the way back. Oh, what an angle, though. He might be able to find that shot. He doesn't quite land it. Josh is not overextending as of yet. He knows his hard breach is invaluable on the site, so he'll get that done. But after the site is breached, I think Josh has a license to go and kill.
Yeah, so here comes Pat doing this next part of his mission, and that's going to be to get the Ossa shield down inside of the bomb site and plant the bomb. Now, it's going to be on these repel players to find the kills that as they come through, right? The retake is definitely going to come through with the defense, and they have to be ready for it. So it's really nice from Vin to protect that player on the repel. It's going to be mission critical to their execute.
A bit dangerous there for Bandits, as they may slip away this advantage. There is a player prone in the front desk, and they deal quite a bit of damage to Pat. It's very finicky, trying to get a safe place to sit. And as you called it, Mandy, the impact falls short, and Pat can take down Lonely. Campo on for the cover from the window, just jumps into the fun. But Pat elsewhere has been taken down from below. Eraser. And as a result, Kelton's Knights get the cue. It's time to get into the site. One player is down below. We must go hunting, and they do. All up to Eraser coming up from his flank, but Josh is there for a 3K. A massive round for him, and he is continuing his reign of terror here.
Very good. I think Kelton's Knights will be thinking about that one. Not bad. They did a plan, and it worked. Who would have thunk it? The only thing that might have dislodged that plan was Eraser going down below with his second grenade to actually take out the planter. It threw Knights into a bit of, oh no. Anyway, kind of moment, right?
No, anyway.
Yeah. Oh no! But
Somebody
then,
call an ambulance.
And the ambulance is
But
Josh.
Not for me. Josh runs in there. He's like, oh, there's a player below. Okay, let's just go and kill them.
Yeah, that's
Let's
the
just
one.
get in there and get the job done.
Oh, yeah, really good plan there from Kelton's Knights. A classic, I would say, a classic strategy here on Bank. One that you don't see often these days.
We saw that a lot in APAC South last year.
Yeah,
was
it's because it was wild card.
I was going to say, yeah, it was wild cards, also, which is Pat's team, right? It was Pat's old team. They loved it.
That's the one. That is certainly the one. So, yeah.
The Pat special right there.
That is certainly the Pat special.
Like, I mean, these guys, you want to, I hate to use the word, but you want to point out how lazy these Kelton's Knights guys are. They're like, let's just go back into the strat book. What were we doing 12 months ago? That'll probably work against Bandits. Let's chuck it in there.
No, but that's the thing. And the thing is, that's not even lazy, right? Like, a big criticism that they've been saying, that these Kelton's Knights dudes have been saying about the rest of the league, is that the rest of the league doesn't know how to play old Siege, man. You know, like, no one knows how to go to cafe and clear shop. You know what I'm saying? It's like these days teams will be there and they're not going to know how to like time the grenade with the flashbang that goes through the drone hole and the rappel. You know,
see
like,
someone in like piano and be like, oh no, there's one in piano. Let's lurk from the basement.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying.
I think we're on the same wavelength here.
We're on the same wavelength with Kelton's Knights. That just means that we're old.
Well, I don't know about you. I'm certainly feeling old.
You are old.
I'm on the wrong side of 25 now.
Oh, no.
I know. By esports years, that makes me ancient.
Oh, dear. Anyway, that also makes the rest of these players in the server ancient. But, you know, Bandits, they're still young and up and coming, so we can get excited about them instead. Anyway, it's going to be a ground floor bomb site. It will be open and staff area, which is the more fashionable one of the two on the ground floor. There is a set of vertical here for Wobbling Worthy. He's going to make his way in on the buck and is going to try and dislodge all of the members playing horizontally over in Archives and Tellers. Vin as well is going to come in for that pinch and try and catch him off guard.
Ooh, here comes a C4, but Worthy is like, yeah, no worries. I'm just going to sit on top of a table. Can't die to the C4s up there. This is quite a bit more classic Siege. Just bucking open the floor. Getting dirty downstairs and looking to clear out these players. A bit of new Siege is what Vinny was doing with the Brava, but it looks like Jacko's actually landed a shot through the vertical game, and he's taken down Campo.
Well, that's not too bad from Jacko. Remember, these vertical holes do go two ways. It's not just on the side of the attack. So Jacko, getting his elbows out a little bit, has decided to take that fight to Campo, who's had a rough one so far. The first 2 rounds not quite going his way. Josh, though, seems to have this guy pinned down. Lots of info here inside of Tellers.
Kill him.
Do it.
Do it. Josh, get in there. Come on, mate. You know he's right there. You want to so bad. There's his head. And see you later, Jacko. It looks like it's all coming up in spades for Kelton's Knights. Vinny's found one as well. His slow but sure push in from lobby has now netted him extra control. Not sure what he's managed to glean on the Brava. Perhaps he could be looking for some of those Maestro's evil eyes.
So danger here as they try and get this portal open is that it can be impact tricked by Lonely, and there is only 2 exothermic charges and 2 impacts, but there's more Selmas, and that is what matters.
Pat, just swing. Honestly, you know you want to, man. Just get in there. The wall's getting open.
Oh, no, this guy is snaking on the ground on the other side.
Holes.
That's no good.
Bit of a pre-fire, bit of a love tap. Nothing as of yet. The Evil Eye's facing the wrong way, and Vinny has gone down. Lonely's in a good spot, but Josh is simply better. Drift has been a highlight player for Bandits, and he steps up for one. Could it be for a second? Razor joins the fray, and Wobbling Worthy will need to wobble his way over to that diffuser as soon as possible. But Drift will shut him down before he's given the chance to do so. The first round on the board for Bandits.
That is not bad for Bandits. That is certainly not bad. Not only did they actually take the fight to Kelton's Knights on the vertical and actually put that pressure on through the mid-round, but even as the execute started to come through, Lonely did a good job in holding on to that quad wall. Yes, there was lots of mute jammers there, but he did the impact tricking good. You know, the quad wall on Bank is one of those walls that can be a little tricky to land the impact. It is a rather slim, it is a slim little gap in the top there, hey. So you know, it's not the easiest one to land. So I think Lonely, even though he did go down in the end, did a good job, I think, in holding out for the time that he needed to. And as the rest of the Kelton's Knights tried to flood in, they lost their gunfights. Drift did a good job.
Yeah, I will say overall, I think Bandits, every individual player that round did pretty well.
Yeah.
Even the guy playing in Archives, Jacko, right? The sub, by the way, filling in for Mallow, he has for quite a few weeks now. He even found 1 kill before he died. And that kill was onto Campo, who was the Thatcher, which did make opening that quad wall a little bit harder. Of course, the mute jam has helped a little bit, as did the impact trick, as you said. But Bandit's now a little bit more confident. Right? Okay, we finally stemmed the bleeding. We're not getting rolled over. We're in the game. Let's go back down to the basement. This should be the site we're winning, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Let's give it another crack.
Yeah, and they've added some small adaptations as well, so I think Lonely has realized that he doesn't actually know the lineup on the smoke and has told a Razor that, and now a Razor's on the smoke. And instead, Lonely is going to bring Mirror.
I mean, the C4s are pretty easy to land. If he messes that up, I don't know, man.
No, I reckon he is good here. This is good, right? This
Mirror's
is like
a great pick too. Keep it simple, right?
Yeah, this is something else that Kelton's Knights will have to deal with as they get in towards the bomb site now. This is good from Josh. He's injected himself into the ground floor of the map, and that's going to cut in half the roamers. There's one on the top floor and there's one on the main stairs, and he's right in between them.
I don't know, Josh has been scary this game. He's 8-2, and he's been hungry. And we've seen that he's completely unafraid of just saying, yeah, I know he's there. I'm just going to go and swing him. And it's worked for them. But I quite like the read from Bandits to also fall back not play quite so aggressively. What a pre-fire, though, from Josh. Jacko is lucky that he escaped with only a haircut. But you can tell that Josh also knows very well that there is a player on the main stairs, and MML's about to walk straight into his lines of sight. Caught lacking. Jacko, do not go for that refrac. You have been read, my friend. And Kelton's Knights once again start the round with an advantage.
Oh dear, not so good once again from Bandits on the roam. Even when they played the hatch open, they couldn't quite do it. Now, another adaptation that they've brought to this defense is that they've decided to bring the K-Heat as well. They want to keep the hatches closed for a little bit longer, but Campo has then gone and repicked onto Thatcher. So there is a direct way, a solution, in fact, to what Bandits have brought, but it is a bit of a time sink, and I think that's the big thing that they need here against Kelton's Knights.
I'm a little bit surprised Kelton's Knights are bringing such little hard breach, but I guess it's the perfect amount. 4 hard breach gadgets between the 2 secondary hard breaches and the 2 thermite charges. It's the exact amount you need to open both of these hatches, the server hatch and the site wall. But if any of these fail, if any of them get tricked or any of the players die, then it's quite a significant blow to Kelton's Knights' utility. That said, 2 hatches already open and control starting to be whittled away here.
Yeah, not too bad for Kelton's Knights, but like we're saying, the big thing is actually burning out this plant denial utility. So even though the server hatch has been opened, they do need to start working this plant minigame to burn out those 3 smoke babes and the C4s so that they can go for it safely.
Yeah, and the drones come through, start picking out all of these gadgets. Josh needs to use his final grenade to clear out the final... Oh no! That's pretty tragic there for Josh. He didn't see the ADS, and as a result, it takes a few seconds longer to take out that Vulcan canister. It is burnt, but there won't be much time left by the time it's gone.
Time is precious and is of the essence, but here comes Vin for his lurk-in through Garage. It could be the play that Kelton's Knights need.
Every now and then you see a bank round where a player in Garage saves the chance for the attack. Vinny might be that. He's found one. The drop from Kelton's Knights is everything they've been looking for. Just Drift now. He's found 2 from nowhere. Looking for another, but that plant is going down. An impact, and Vinny is scared off for another brief moment. Drift to reload and reassess the situation, but Vinny will not let him out of the vault. He locks him up and sends him home. A 4th round here for Kelton's Knights. They are dominating on bank.
Yeah, Bolton Vinny living up to his name. Really nice play there in from Garage. Haha, there you go.
Didn't even make that connection.
Nice one there for Kelton's Knights. Yeah, I think they anticipated what they needed to do. They knew that the win condition was to make sure that Pat could get into the bomb site safely and get that plant down. And as he went for that, I think it was like 3 players simultaneously dropped down. It was Josh and Campo to do it together at the same time as Vin went in for his pinch inside of Garage. So all that Kelton's Knights needed to do there was to be coordinated and synthesize their attack. And Bandits weren't quite ready for it.
They just got the damn good fundamentals, do they? Knights, they know how to basic roam clear. They know how to open hatches. They know how to clear util on site, and if there's not enough time for a proper execute, they'll be like, all right, guys, let's just go kill them. And they've got the confidence and the mechanics to back it up.
And they're doing the same strat again.
Over and over again.
Over and over again.
The basement has been three attacks that are basically identical.
Yep.
And on this top floor, like you're saying, the OSA is back.
The same. And even less impacts this time to deal with it. Yeah, there is the C4 of a Razor, I guess, who was actually the one below. So important there for Bandits to make sure that they know they can identify the win conditions for Kelton's quicker, I think, and actually come up with a counter to it.
My question is, what are Bandits going to do about the acing of the stock wall? I think there's a mute jammer on it this time around, but Pat does have EMPs. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Sky. So, yeah, this is totally clearable here.
Yeah, it's a curious one to me. They haven't really brought any, like, anti-projectile catching operators either, so it's not like their EMP is going to be caught or anything like that. Like, honestly, Worthy could just, like, send an Ash charge and it would kill it. Oh my god, he's all the way in top square. What's going on?
He could just send it. Oh, he spots the player. Unfortunate, isn't it? And a defender has disconnected.
Oh dear.
Eraser, one of the better players for the team. Vinny's now breached that main castle barricade. And this setup that Bandits are really enjoying is starting to get punished. Campo, or not Campo, whoever it was, there's a player downstairs. It's Worthy. He's in that position that we expect someone from Bandits to look to flank later.
Yeah, it's important. Like you're saying, they're actually planning ahead. And he's even seen a player inside of lobby. And yep, he takes his head clean off. Good night, Drift. And on the other side, it's left them now in a 5-on-2. Poor Bandits, we're going to make a play to claw this one back. But against Kelton's Knights, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it really is. Kells Knights have been so good thus far. And if I'm Bandits, on the back of likely a tech pause or whatever it will take to get Eraser back in the server, I really would be feeling a lot of pressure. Kells Knights are looking to go up 5-1 here on the attack of Bank. Now, Bank can be attacker-sided in the current meta, but 1 round is nowhere near enough on defense. And Worthy is so keen.
Ooh, sneaky beaky, like up the main stairs. They don't have the info on him. Lonely is stuck inside of a corner, and the moment that he moves, he was in a 2-way crossfire. Had to take him down. MML inside of Banana is going to be backstabbed by Vin. Once again, the play that Kells Knights need just to close out the rounds, and a nice 5-1 half on the attack is what they need.
It's they probably needed a lot less than that.
Actually, yeah, it's not what they need, it's just what they want.
It's what they want? It's like when you're like, Mom, no, I really need that. And she's like, do you need it or do you want it?
Yeah, and then Mom says we have that at home.
Mom, we have Mallow at home. Mallow at home. Jacko. No offense, Jacko.
Oh dear.
He's actually not had a bad game.
No, man, Jacko's alright, man. Oh, he's 1-6.
He is 1-6, but
maybe not.
like Lonely's 1-5, so it's or 1-6. I don't know. He's one of those.
Oh dear.
I'll tell you what. Who's having a good time right now? Pat is.
Yeah.
Look at his face. There's a smile on his dial.
No, Vin's having a good time, man.
And that's pretty rare these days for Vinny to have a good time.
No, it's not. That's a real bad look from him.
You can't have a dig at me when he's the one losing to Jake in the 1v1s.
That is fair enough. That is certainly fair enough. Gus has been a bit silly. Anyway, we're in the game now. That's good. Getting in the game's good.
Hells yeah. And guess what? We've switched sides. So while we were a little bit critical of Bandits on their defense, they had the right ideas a lot of the time, just lacking on execution. And by the way, what I was going to mention before, when I said not saying we could do any better, when you get in the server and it's an official game, that is a whole another kettle of fish compared to playing at home or playing ranked or whatever.
Yes.
And when you're playing against players that you know who they are and you know they're really good at the game, that is also a massive factor. Like, whenever I'm playing ranked and suddenly I'm like, oh, now we're playing against the Mana stack, we're playing against the Bliss stack. Like, it's not actually that they're that good. It's just that I suddenly go into my shell. And everyone does that. And I think that's also something that comes from experience. Kells Knights, like, this is just another top game for the hundreds that they've played. But for most of these Bandits players, I reckon actually for all 5 of these players, this is the 6th ever official match that they have played at this level.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is certainly a factor that plays into it. I think that, yeah, like you're saying, Bandits, even when they're down in the numbers advantage, they look, you know, timid to go for plays. They look scared to do things. Yeah, I think that's exactly a good read that they have. But on the attack, it's up to them to actually set the tempo. And so here they go on their attempt at the roam clear. Now they've brought along what a lot of Kells Knights brought along on their attack as well. Not only have they brought along the buck with the squares, but they've actually brought along the additional hard breach of the Ying as well. So not actually using that thermite to get open the wall, but instead they want to have more of those candelas, flashes, smokes, not smokes, sorry, just the candelas to enable that execute to happen.
Well, they do have smokes on Twitch, let's not forget.
That's true.
The Twitch will be pivotal for trying to get those Vulcan canisters. Also, Mirror is unbanned. It's not picked here, but the Twitch would have been great for that as well. What's going on there? Is the gate's deactivated? Is there a player standing beneath it or something? Like, why isn't it activating? What? Is that a bug? Oh, it's being blocked by the Goyo!
Oh, dude.
Sky, you're a genius!
That's
Pat,
unreal.
You're a genius!
We're so stupid. I don't know.
Is that actually how it works?
That is... Oh, no, I don't know.
I thought it would, like, trigger... So, I assume...
Oh, no. It's because, like, the little bit is, like, blocking the gate from deploying. You know what I'm saying?
So, if he pops the Goyo, does the gate activate?
Yes, the gate will activate if the Goyo pops. That is correct.
That is some 300 IQ shit right there.
We're really dumb. Like, honestly, we are so stupid. Sky's got the biggest brain in the world. Anyway, so here goes Bandits through their mid-round. They have got the hatches open now, so they've got a little bit of the step done. Now, the next part, if they want to do a server push, is to clear Pat. And Pat has a very fortified position. Even if they send in the Candela, he's warded.
Oh, here comes the EMP, though, and he blocks the gate up, but it gets EMP'd, so Urinigate is not going to deny any entry or nades as of yet, but the Goyo will certainly deny entry. That said, server hatch now open.
Yeah, right. So not only is Pat stuck in this position, but so is Josh. They've put a lot of eggs in this blue stairs basket. They've got to get value out of it. And like, oh, there we go. The Aruna Gate is popped up. Wow, that's exciting. So the burn is going to start again for Bandit. They're going to sacrifice a drone for it, but Pat is so ready on the other side.
In comes a nade, in comes the EMP, the shotgun to reply. Finds one down, and the kill on the second player. And Josh has come in to refrag. Unfortunately, he falls. But all said and done, Bandits have a numbers advantage if they're able to pick up MML. But look at that timer. 20 seconds left. Good luck making this one work.
Yep, this is a very tough one here for Bandit. With only like 17 seconds, the main wall isn't breached. The only thing they can do is try and flood, but Worthy's going to meet them on the other side.
There's even a Vulcan canister that's yet to detonate, but they'll have to go for kills. Will Bandits? Worthy's found the double! MML! You can't be dogging your teammate like that! Try as you will, you're never going to plant! Worthy mops up the last one. Kelton's Knights. A very simple close to a very curious round.
Yeah, I think nice one there from the two players on the blue stairs. That was Josh and Pat. Like, yes, they did kind of lose their lives for it, but it did force Bandits to throw their bodies and squander their wealth of utility on it. And by the time that they hit the bomb site, yeah, exactly. Like, by the time that they hit the bomb site, they were like, oh no, we have nothing, you know? And yeah, Kelton's Knights could take it out from there. Worthy with a really nice 1.5x enhanced long angle is going to take down every player as they flood, and even the team kill. So Bandits got to fight themselves as well as fighting the enemies. That's not good. That's real bad.
And what's funny is that happened even while there was still one Vulcan canister that hadn't been popped.
Oh dear.
So,
oh dear.
Yeah. It's funny because I'd said, oh, Bandits, they brought the Twitch. They can deal with the Goyo. They brought this. Well, they didn't really in the end, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to that point that you were saying before when they were on their defense. It's like, yes, you can bring the right things, but like bringing them and then doing them is like two different things. And I think that's the difference, a big difference on the attack as well, right? Like on the attack, a lot of the solutions require a lot of finesse as well. Like getting the Twitch inside of there is a bit rough, right? Because you've got to like weasel it in between all the defenders. And yeah, I don't know, it's a bit hard.
I will just say that is like the epitome of Siege. You've got these armchair analysts like us, like the three musketeers on the couch being like, just bring the Twitch, you could be countering that. Like all the Redditors. Yeah, I'm talking about you in Twitch chat. I know that you're on Reddit saying, I can't believe they didn't just do this. Yeah, well, just because they know the right idea doesn't mean it's easy to execute.
That's exactly right. Whereas I think for Kelton's Knights, all they're doing is things that they know that they can do because they've done them 100 times.
Ban out the Solus. Actually, it was Bandits that banned it out. But if I was Kelton's Knights, I probably would have banned out the Solars. And ban out the Dokkaebi. Makes it a bit more comfy to roam. Which, speaking of, we will see here. Campo on the ground floor. Where is that bomb site? Okay, so it's over on open area and staff room or kitchen. And this is really a roam-heavy site, isn't it? You need to contest a lot of the map.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you don't actually contest the top floor, it means that you forfeit it to the attack, and as soon as you forfeit the top floor to the attack, you essentially forfeit out Tellers and Archives as well, because of the vertical, right? So holding on to the top floor is just preparation for step 2, and there's actually a lot dedicated to it. Not only have they got 3 players up here, but they've also got the Azami, so all of these repel angles that the attack might want to play is going to be keep a barricaded up.
He's got 2 more in pocket. Has he been droned yet? No, he hears the drone. Man, the temptation to jump out here must be immense, but he's just going to keep on holding on to his position. Probably a smart move. He's now been droned, and he is vulnerable to a window. He gets peeked, but he spots the player in time, and he will contest the angle. The upside-down rappel, though, will win that 100% of the time. Bandits have sprung to life. They found the 3 roamers. Josh is still at large upstairs, and Pat has retaken as well. Can Bandits consolidate this advantage?
Oh, very nice roam clear here from Bandits. Even though Pat tried to go for the aggressive play, he couldn't quite land it. So here's Josh on his attempt as well. The 1v5.
No,
he can't quite land the second set of shots onto MML, and it'll take him out. Good stuff from Bandit. Nice mini execute there onto the top floor. I think they did what they had to do. There was a lot of info there on the top floor, and it really enabled all of those entries to know exactly where the defenders were. They could just hop straight into that top floor, get kills from repels, coming up spiral, coming around through main or stock, or wherever the Bandits players found a hole inside of the top floor. They entried in on it, and they won their ones.
Yeah, look, the score might be 6-2, but that was the most dominant round we've seen yet. Flawless for Bandits.
Very good.
Fire up.
Very, very nice.
See what they can do on the back of that one.
That's really good.
I kind of like it. Just having a look at the standings, by the way. If Kelton's Knights win this game, they're currently on 7 points. They'll go up to 10, so they'll jump over Odium in 4th. And technically, they'll actually also jump over Mammoth and take 3rd place. Because they will be tied for points, but they will be leading on round difference. That is, of course, assuming that they retain the current significant lead over Bandits. They are, as it stands at the moment, 3 rounds behind Mammoth in the head-to-head round difference. So as long as they beat Bandits by more than 3 rounds, they guarantee 3rd place at the end of this play day, which, by the way, is like a lot of money. I'll check the money.
And well. I think those two teams play each other on the last play day as well, right?
Do they?
I think they play each other on Wednesday. So, if they win this game by however many...
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
It's the battle for 3rd.
It's the battle for 3rd place.
Oh my
God. The battle for money.
Yes.
I don't know how much money.
3 grand.
Damn, that's pretty good.
That's not
That is
nothing.
not bad. That is not bad if you are Kelton's Knights, man, and you don't play the game that much. And getting through an extra 3 grand if you beat out, that's pretty good.
That's a lot of money.
So how much do they get in total if they come 3rd?
3rd place is 12,000 Australian dollars, which is a 7.7 US. And yeah, then so it's 18 for first, 15, 12, 9 for the top 4 places.
Exciting.
A lot of money. That's a lot of dosh. It's a lot more than Vinny was fighting for back in the day.
That's more than like all of them were fighting for back in the day, mate. You can't say that.
Except the mini majors. The mini major in the COVID era, the prize pools were actually nuts.
Anyway.
I had to redistribute all of the money from the majors. Anyway,
yeah. Attack, top floor. So last time that we saw Bandits land a really nice attack, they did a mini execute on the top floor, and they cleared all the roamers there, and it was super good from them. Now this time, the bomb site is the top floor, right? So there are going to be way more players up here and a lot more setup for them to deal with as well.
Cover me, reloading.
trying to concentrate, but I hear a very unprofessional host in the background being all silly. And this is not a silly game. This is a great game. Bandits are trying their darndest
They are.
to save themselves from embarrassment. And look at this. The 1-7 Jacko on a bit of a lurk up spiral stairs. I quite like that. He's got a drone ahead of him, but Pat has found the opener, immediately trades himself out by jumping into a claymore. But look at this. We've got the 2-3 speeds snaking their way up these staircases.
This isn't bad from Bandit. Nice discipline from Jacko.
No.
Okay, as I say that, he gets to take... Oh, it's actually a direct one-to-one trade. That's pretty good from him on the spiral stairs. Meanwhile, it doesn't seem like Kelton's Knights quite know that MML's got control all the way in top square.
Oh, you could get the timing on this. MML, no!
Oh,
He
dear.
looks away. Vinny's like, what are you doing there? And MML takes him straight on down. No, doesn't land the second shot. Did he trade? No, he didn't. I think he did. I don't know. I can't tell what's going on. Campo's in a 1v2. I can tell you that for damn sure. This is so winnable as well. On the 1.5. Rocking the current reigning major champion skin on it as well. Going up against a very low HP Drift. Bit of a tap through the wall. They should know where he is. The information is there. The sound cover's there. The first kill.
15 seconds left.
And now round in the corner, Drift has information. But Campo has time on his side. And he's got the shot to clutch out the 1v2 for Kelton's Knights. A 7-2 is exactly what the doctor ordered. And they will take third place on the standings at the end of today.
And they're certainly going to be happy about that one. Pretty easy win, all things considered. 7-2, a very dominant scoreline. Bandits not quite showing up to the ballpark, unfortunately, against Kelton's Knights, who brought